Hey, good morning, friends. April here with Medwell Health and Wellness, and we are so excited because it's Thursday. Emily and I, it's our favorite time and day of the week. And I'm a little sad though today, Emily. This is like our wrap up. We've been going
I
straight through.
know. I know. I was thinking that this morning. I can't believe that it's already the end.
And I
can't
think
believe it.
we've gone, what, 12 weeks straight at least,
Mm-hmm.
at least. So,
Yeah.
although we are sad that today is kind of wrapping up, we'll look forward to the new year, and we're ending on a high note because we have some great guests with us today.
Yeah, we
If
sure
you are,
do.
we do. All right, so my friends, housekeeping before we get started. If you are watching, we are streaming this to multiple channels. This is live, so feel free to drop a comment, say hello. If you are catching the replay, also feel free to ask a question or drop a comment because we will absolutely get back to you. And I'm ready to kind of get started here. So today we're going to be talking about the world of cannabis products and what you need to know. So our guests today, they are, first of all, they're amazing, and they're dog people, which I love. So that's what we were talking about, our dogs here in the green room behind the scenes. But we have John Stevens of Cureleaf, and we have Rich Magana of Petalfast, and we're going to be having a great conversation about CANN tonic, some different products. And this is perfect conversation, especially for you medical patients that are just getting started in the world of medicinal cannabis and your wellness. And even if you have been already using cannabis products, I think you're going to be enlightened today by the topics that we cover and the products that we share today. So I'm going to welcome everybody. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
And we're going to get started with introductions. And I am going to start with Emily because she's wrapping up her world tour of Massachusetts and her breather, but for the holidays, as we start Hanukkah on Sunday, she's going to wind down and enjoy some family time. So, Emily, what's new and what's grooving in your world?
Oh, lots of good stuff, April. Always out and about. And anyone that comes and sees me at any of the local dispensaries, please make sure you stop by and say hello. It's always an absolute pleasure to be able to talk to you. If you have questions about how to obtain your medicinal card here in Massachusetts, please stop by. Or if you are a patient and you might have questions about the renewal process, I'd love to speak to you about that as well. So definitely make sure that you, keep your eyes out for me. And it will always be an absolute pleasure to be able to say hello and make sure that you remain a medical patient or come on into the program. Because if you're not in the program, you're certainly missing out, right, John and Richie?
100%.
100%. And just spending more money too.
Yep.
Exactly. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to have John Stevens start with kind of his introduction, telling us a little bit about all the awesomeness he's providing in our community. Take it away.
Sure. So, like you mentioned, my name's John. I work in marketing. So, I oversee a couple of different states here in the Northeast. Massachusetts is home. So, just like Emily, on the road. So, looking forward to seeing everyone stop by, say hi as we're out doing pop-ups, doing those educational, informative, in-depth survey of our products and what we offer, what we use, and how they can benefit you, any ailments that you may have, and what you're looking to use cannabis for and to relieve. So I oversee, like I said, Massachusetts and the Connecticut markets. We're looking forward to going to AU in Connecticut, but here in Massachusetts is well underway, and just a lot of fun opportunities, a lot of amazing brands, a lot of amazing products that can be overwhelming for anyone. I know myself, I get overwhelmed going into a dispensary, and I've been really looking and researching and learning. I've recently been accepted into a Gangier program where I'm able to really look at the in-depth botany of the plant, the lesser cannabinoids, what like each strain does, how it's comprised, and it has given me a really insightful view of cannabis in and of itself, how I'm able to utilize different strains for different ailments, and just all the wonders of the plant in and of itself. So love to talk about it. Love to talk about our amazing product line. We have several different products that we offer. that we'll talk probably a little bit more about later. But like my background was in education, so I worked in higher education for many years. Now I say I'm in a different type of higher education, where I'm able to. So my heart's in research, so I love just finding out about things, learning about it, and being able to express the knowledge base that I have with other folks. Because knowledge is key. It's so important to really understand what it is, because I can't tell you how many times, and I'm sure everyone on this call has had a bad experience with cannabis, right? That if that was your first and only interaction, you're like, maybe stay away from this. But it's all about finding the strains and the products that work for you. But yeah, so that's a little bit about myself. I could talk all day, but yeah, that's a little bit about my background, what I am currently doing, and how I came into the cannabis field, about 2 years ago, I guess it's been. Love it. It's exciting. It's new. Just so much to learn, and super honored to be here today. So thank you.
I love the happiness on your face. Like you can tell that you're excited to kind of share about the plant and all of these things, which I'm sure keeps many people engaged in your educational talks for sure.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. My friend Rich, take it away.
Hi, I'm Rich Magana, and I'm with Petalfast. And Petalfast is a boutique field marketing and sales company. And we partner with several different brands to really kind of alleviate some of the stress of field marketing and the complexity of field marketing. So we partner with several amazing brands to be able to, convey the brand and the messaging and the education of these brands to the field. So very, very excited to be here. Like John, I'm relatively new to the cannabis industry. I've been in the cannabis industry for a little over 2.5 years. Before that, I was in education, specifically in fashion and in beauty. I was in those industries for, almost 20 years. Learned a lot about consumerism, learned a lot about product knowledge, learned a lot about education. And was very, very excited to bring the knowledge that I've had, acquired over the last, 2 decades, and bring it to cannabis, and be able to really truly educate, our customers, because the cannabis plant, like John was mentioning, there's so many facets of the plant, and there's so many benefits of the plant, and it's been, one of the highlights of my career to be able to truly educate people and discuss, how a plant could help with, pain, how a plant could help with anxiety, depression. It's been fantastic to be able to spread the knowledge that I've received from so many people in this industry who've been in this industry for decades. So it's been a really fantastic journey to be able to take all of my experience from previous companies and bring it to the cannabis space here in Massachusetts.
Awesome. And I was listening to both you saying you're newer to the cannabis community. I think we're all in some ways newer to it, right? Because even though it's been around for a long time in the medicinal side, but it's really not, right? I mean, if you think about the longevity of things, we're still learning, and everything is always growing and we're evolving. So let's hear a little bit about how so we have you both here today. Emily has worked with you two before. Tell us how you're connected and how you guys work together.
Should I answer or?
No, Rich and John, but yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Because I got the pleasure of being able to see them at all of our table events, and that was the best part, I think, as far as when I'm going to these events, you really don't know who else is going to be there, and to see these two beautiful smiling faces, when I walk into a room, it always, I know that I'm going to have a fantastic day. So definitely knowing that, the two of them are there to continue the education piece is always phenomenal.
100%. Yes. And, Emily is one of my favorite human beings in the world. And so any way that we could work together or partner together is always a pleasure. Like currently with the team with Petalfast, we have a team of around 30 brand ambassadors who are out in the market. And all of our brand ambassadors are always been given the opportunity to get information about medical cards, specifically through Medwell. So we offer that with all of our brand ambassadors, because we do think that knowledge is power. We do think that, it's important to if you do need a medical card, to find a reputable place to get one. And John and I we personally use Medwell, for our cards, and the process has always been so easy. They walk you through everything, so it's a really great collaboration for Petalfast and for Medwell to be able to like offer such a high level company to be able to offer medical cards to our employees who need it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And Emily is one of the nicest humans in the world, for sure. Right. Yes, she's
Beautiful
always
inside and out.
Very kind heart. Yes.
Yeah, the check will be in the mail to all of you.
So I want to start talking a little bit about CANN tonic. So and kind of I'm going to actually let you take it away and tell a little bit about what it is, how it's different. Like there's lots of different products on the market, and then there's seltzers and tonics. And I will say, friends, when I drop this website, I highly, highly encourage you to go to it. So I'm a marketing person, and I always look at websites. This is beautiful and I love it. So
I love it. Fantastic feedback. So, I feel like there's so many different products right there in the market, correct? And one of my favorites, and it's been one of my favorites for years, is CANN Seltzer. CANN Seltzer is the #1 selling microdosed cannabis seltzer in North America. We also just got distribution in Canada, so we're very, very excited about that. But CANN is queer owned, which I think is fantastic. And they offer a great alternative to alcohol. Personally speaking, I'm not a huge fan of alcohol. As we get older, I feel like hangovers take a little bit longer to go away. So I really my preference is a CANN seltzer, because it allows me to still have that relief, still get that uplifting type of feeling, but I don't get a hangover. I'm not hungover. I don't have any kind of like night regret, and it really allows me to be able to like be me, but be able to like not have to worry about the side effects of alcohol. So I think that that's really great. And the brand has always positioned themselves as an alternative for alcohol. So, I think that, for me, one of my favorite ways to consume is in a group setting. So a seltzer just makes sense for me. And what I like about the CANN product is that, it's an all natural alternative. So, within CANN, it is literally just like 5, basic ingredients. It's sparkling water. It's fresh squeezed fruit juice. It's an herbal extract, THC, CBD, as well as a hint of agave, just to add some sweetness. So again, all natural. And it's, in addition to like having great marketing, it's also super easy to take to events. So like this right here is their 8-ounce can. And within this can, you're going to get 2 milligrams of THC, as well as 4 milligrams of CBD. So it's a moderately dosed product. This product is not designed to get you like locked into that couch. It's really designed for you to be able to, consume this with your friends, consume this at holiday parties, get that uplifting type of, feeling, and really kind of be a part of that holiday party. So this is, again, one of my favorites. This flavor is lemon lavender, hands down, amazing. And again, moderately dosed. However, if you are, like me, who prefer just a little bit more THC, CANN also has created a product called a High Boy, which is, I think, kind of amazing. This is 12 ounces, and it has 5 milligrams of THC. So this is perfect for someone who does want a little bit more THC, or maybe is more comfortable with, going over the 2 milligram limit. But again, this flavor right here, blood orange cardamom, another stellar flavor. Their core flavors are lemon lavender, blood orange cardamom, as well as grapefruit rosemary. So all amazing flavors. And I find that it's very similar to like a craft cocktail. It's made well, great ingredients, clean ingredients, just infused with cannabis. So, I feel like the, 8-ounce cans are fantastic for someone who maybe is dipping their toe into cannabis, or maybe kind of coming back to cannabis, over several years because maybe they had a really bad experience. So those 8-ounce cans are perfect. The CBD in the 8-ounce cans, I think, are great too, because it helps with alleviating, minor joint pain. It also helps with anxiety. And then going into the high boy again, like, this is fantastic. I'll be drinking several of these during my holiday parties.
Well, I see you have holiday packs on your website, so
Yeah,
you can really stock up.
Absolutely. And they're great. They're great for home use. They're great to take to parties, like, for the holiday parties. I forever, during the summer, if I'm going to barbecues, I have a few cases on me. And it makes, especially, it really kind of bonds the alcohol drinkers and the cannabis users, and it kind of creates this really cool harmonious moment. So yeah, I would definitely say that canned seltzers are definitely one of my top picks for the holiday.
Well, and I put in a quote from your website. It left me bubbly, sociable, and in a pleasant haze. So yeah. So
what's so great about the drink as well is for all of those folks that are living in, say, condominiums, apartment complexes, assisted living. Sometimes there are situations where you cannot smoke. So what an amazing way to be able to dose yourself and do it discreetly, that there's going to be no smell. You can still get that the medicinal piece to you, in a very, wonderful way, and not be bothering your neighbors. No one will know. And I think that's another wonderful piece to make sure that I kind of put out there, because lots of folks living in situations like that. So another discreet way to, get your medicine.
100%. And, and what we're also learning is that, the last couple of years have been a little crazy. We're starting to see a lot of consumers really kind of taking a second look at their alcohol consumption, and really kind of figuring out, do I want to drink a bottle of rosé every day? Or do I want to do something different? Do I want to try something different that is not going to, completely impair my judgment, or, something of that nature? So, we're definitely seeing that seltzers are a fantastic crossover to maybe people who have been a little bit, nervous about cannabis, or again, someone who maybe has had a bad experience with it. And, with the dosages of like 2 milligrams, again, that's completely controllable. Also with, these beverages, there's a fast onset, which I think is super important, because again, you want to be in control of your experience. Cannabis is designed to help you, not stress you out.
Yeah.
How does it work? So I noticed that you can actually shop online and purchase like the holiday packs. And friends, if you go to their website, actually, if you sign up for their email, you get informed of all the discounts, but you get 15% off a purchase. So, but tell us a little bit about how that process works. Do you need a medicinal card? Like, how does that work? Because there is THC in the product.
Absolutely. So yeah, what I would encourage, if anyone's interested in getting more information on our delivery service, then yes, go onto our page, sign up for that, and then you'll start to receive emails with more information on, how to use the discount. It'll also give you examples, or give you the logistics behind it. You definitely will need to be over 21, and you definitely will need to order it and have it delivered to your house. But there'll be more information on there. So I highly recommend to sign up to our mailing list. Not only is there some great information, some great discounts, but there's also some fabulous marketing and really some great product knowledge that comes through those email blasts as well.
And does it, on the site too, does it mention what dispensaries you can purchase it at as well, Richie?
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
On our website, it'll talk about what dispensary partners, that we are in right now. So like Ascend is huge for us.
Great.
I have a list: Ascend, Rebel, Farnsworth, Mission Dispensaries, Ready. So we're in about over 130 dispensaries across the state, all the way from North Shore all the way down to the Berkshires. So to get more information on where to purchase CANN, you can get all of that information on our website. And also on our social media accounts as well.
Oh, perfect. So you mentioned there was some that are just adult use dispensaries, and then there's some that are going to be both adult use and medical. So for those out there
100%.
listening, just make sure that you double check to make sure if you're a med patient that you're going to a medical dispensary.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And one last question on that. So you said you can ship it to your house. You can't gift it to somebody. It has to come to your physical address.
Correct. Yes.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. I did drop the link, friends, on how to purchase online with more information. As I said, the website's beautiful. It has some really fun. I really liked this statement. THC, CBD, ... what TF. So, it's a fun site to go to, my friends. John, let's talk a little bit about some of your favorite products and kind of what you're out there doing in the community, sharing product education.
Sure. So we have so many fun and exciting products that we offer to folks that we have 2 different medical dispensaries here in Massachusetts and throughout the nation to check and go research. And we have tons of collateral and information on our websites as well that you can research. And I highly encourage folks to research before going into a dispensary too. While your bud tenders are going to be trained, oftentimes from my personal experience, are going to give you examples of what works best for them or some of the products that they personally enjoy.
Yeah.
And within cannabis experience, it's going to hit all of us differently. So my experience is going to be much different from the 3 other folks, on this panel today. So it could, in its magnitude of reasons why. But a couple of the products that I personally enjoy our Plant Precision line. This is new to the Massachusetts market, new to just overall. My absolute favorite is a way to start the day, which is balance. So what we're looking at with Plant Precision, it's really about bringing that health and wellness factor into everyday use. Like me, for myself, I was able to transition off of all pharmaceutical meds through the use of cannabis. Once I got my medical card, I was able to transition off of my antidepressants. And that has been so exciting for me because of the fact that I don't have those negative side effects, that came alongside some of my pharmaceutical meds that I used. Worst case scenario is I'm couch locked and happy, right? So, with balance, this is a low dose of THC. So we are off. Apologies. So it's usually a 1 to 4. So with balance, it's CBD mixed with THC. So it's 2.5 mgs of THC. And then so like on each package, you'll also see the dosage. So it's a 1 to 4. So it's heavy on the CBD side, which CBD is going to loosen you up, give you relaxation, so just a little bit of the health benefits of THC, but heavier dosage on that CBD. So I like to use it to start my day, or like after a workout, or before I go golfing. It's something that will help me improve my performance throughout the day by helping to alleviate some of those like symptoms that I, may suffer from, whether it be fatigue or muscle pain, joint pain. I can start my day there. And then we have Boost, which also is THC, and then it has THCV. So it's that energizing experience. It helps to, gives you sort of that natural, if you will, pre-workout, so it's a way to start your day, get you energized, up and moving, washing dishes. It's like I took a gummy last night, and before I knew it, I was washing my dishes. I was like, oh, I feel good. I was more productive than I was.
I would have to make sure I try that next time I'm washing my dishes.
Yeah. Pro tip, take it.
That more enjoyable, John. That would be wonderful.
I was having a good time because before I knew it, and it wasn't even like an immersive head high by any means, but it's those lesser cannabinoids that are really activating and getting me just in a better headspace, and mentally and just physically, right? And then one of my all-time favorites that we have, Soothe, which has THC and CBG, so that's heavy on just like relief. And then my favorite, which is Slumber. Delicious cherry flavoring. It's 2.5 mix of THC, and then again CBN, so which is the degraded version of THC. So as THC ages, it turns into CBN, which is like relaxation, right? And helps you sort of go into a nice slumber where you can rest throughout the night within that CBN that's activating throughout your system throughout the evening. Then
so do you know if you can get that in Connecticut? Because so it's different naming conventions here, right? We don't have like so I don't know if you can get it. We'll have to talk after what the name of it is, and I'll have to go to the look.
It's not available in Connecticut just yet, but I believe with AU launching, hopefully so. So make sure to let folks know of your interest, and we can see what can happen, because it is a product that I absolutely love and adore. And one of my absolute favorites, I think, is also beneficial, is our topical, which is called Relieve, and that is 100% THC, and it's going to be laser focused on an area. So for me, I have shoulder pain, one of my many ailments, right? So like I can use that for a targeted relief. It has a nice slight lemongrass scent, very thin, so it isn't heavy like on your skin. It doesn't feel foreign. So it's like a nice like lotion that sets in, if you will, and it has that targeted relief. So the Plant Precision line, by and large, for like gummies or topicals, is my way to go. And then for those fun like holiday parties, X Bites. X Bites is unlike any other product on the line that I have been made aware of, because it is so it has typically 5 mgs here in Massachusetts, and it's just THC, but it's through a process called liposomal technology, which is going to, as we ingest it and as it processes through our bodies or our liver, it's going to have that sort of longer lasting effects. So through liposomal, it's going to activate fast. So depending on body type, composition, what you have in your, system, food wise, everything that goes into how cannabis interacts with our bodies, it should onset typically 25 to 45 minutes, with it lasting anywhere from like 4 to 8 hours, right? So this is going to be for someone that wants a longer lasting experience. So that I wouldn't recommend for someone who's just out trying, right? I would heavily recommend sort of those lower doses, like the 2.5, that's a little bit more standardized in what we expect and how long those a typical traditional gummy can last. And one of my last favorite products would be our snooze bites. Again, this is through our Select, so it's a higher dose of THC. So it's a 1-to-1, 5 mgs of THC, and then 5 of CBN. So again, it has that relaxation. So it helps once you fall asleep to help you stay asleep.
It's funny you just mentioned that, John, because that is the one thing I found with the Plant Precision product that I tried for sleep, is that there's nothing worse than when you take a product and then at 2 or 3 you're up. That's just the worst. So the best part about that was I took it maybe about 45 minutes before I wanted to go to bed, went to bed, and I stayed asleep until I had to get up the next day. And I think that's just so important, because like I said, there's nothing worse than when you take something, you're in this great sleep, and then at 3 a.m. you're, looking at the clock. So for all those out there that, are, needing some sleep and need some assistance with it, that product is really genius.
And what I enjoy about both our Slumber, Plant Precision, and then the Snooze Bites from Select, no melatonin. And that's key for me, because
it's so
we're
true.
not
There's
messing with
not
our
good
body.
things about it.
Yeah, it was all in and of the cannabis plant in and of itself. So there's no additives, there's no like melatonin, which can mess with our bodies, and as we already produce it. So that's one of my favorite and main reasons why I look for those. So again, it's not going to
that up. Like we're recently finding out melatonin is not really very good for us.
No, and I find that people that take melatonin regularly, they keep upping and upping and upping and upping the dose, and when they don't have it, they can't sleep at all. you know, like they're so dependent. It's terrible.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah,
so, you know, these are really phenomenal products to try. So certainly next time you're out and about and you stop in, definitely be looking for these products that John and Rich mentioned.
So I'd love to hear from both of you about kind of as you're talking with audiences and retail locations, what are some of the biggest, you know, what are the key points that you want patients to know about the product, about these products? You know, I think we have all age demographics here at Medwell that are our medical patients, and you know, we have from the younger generation. And then we have a lot of older demographic, especially in our Florida location. So I think it'd be helpful just kind of those key takeaways that, you know, that you would say in terms of products. I don't know who wants to start. How about you, Rich?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, with some of the key things that that I am constantly saying when I'm out in the field educating is that, you know, we are never going to get to a place where we're going to know everything. You know, we are in this industry. It's a relatively new industry. There's technology that's new, innovative technology that's coming out all the time. So I think that one of the key takeaways is to always keep an open mind and always, you know, find those resources to learn, because, you know, every month I feel like there's a new product that comes out, there's new technology, there's new data that comes out. And I do believe that education is so important, especially when you're starting out your journey in cannabis or revisiting, you know, your journey to cannabis. I feel a lot of us take a couple steps back because we've had a bad experience with cannabis, right? So I think that going into it, understanding your dosage, understanding how the plant works, and really kind of focusing on what you feel like you need relief on. You know, why you're coming into a dispensary. What are those underlying issues? And, you know, talk to your bud tender. Bud tenders have a wealth of information. I mean, we live in, you know, the world of the internet. The internet has a ton of information. So I always say, like, learn, keep an open mind. If you think you know everything about cannabis, that's completely wrong, because it changes and evolves every day.
Yeah, so true.
How about you, John? Thank you, Rich.
Sure. To sort of mimic what Rich was saying, and how I sort of started the conversation, is do your research first, like really investigate and look at what you think might be beneficial for you, and to go in and ask those questions. There's still a heavy stigma associated with cannabis. There could be fear, you know, even going into a dispensary, right? I mean, I was there just a few years ago, you know, before I really, because the stigma is real. So it's about educating and sort of having those open conversations. And really, I can't tell you how many times I've heard folks, you know, talking about just like CBD and how they think that that's going to be a psychoactive property. And it's like, no, it's no psychoactive property, right? So just really doing some research and starting low doses. Can't recommend that enough. You know, starting with any type of microdosing product, taking one in the safety and security of your home, finding out, especially if it's like a gummy, an edible, and just seeing how that treats you, and then building from there. Because as you can discover what your tolerance is, how that product may interact with your body composition, and looking to see how sometimes those lesser cannabinoids are key, you know. And oftentimes folks look at, like, from a flower standpoint, they're looking for highest tack, right? Like, oh, I have to have it because it's 35%. But really the key player in any flower, any vape, is going to be those terpenes. That's going to help. That's going to be our experience, are those terpenes that come alongside our vapes, what our flower. And knowing that sometimes just higher tack doesn't mean a better experience. It's really about looking and finding those terpenes that speak to you, and what those, and each terpene is sort of targeted toward a relief, you know, whether it be for like relaxation or energy. That's where we get those like sativa or indica. But really, we mostly live in the hybrid and like world. So I think that that's just key, is starting low, doing your research, and then relying on our bud tenders, who are really the backbone of all dispensaries, who know the most. They know all the products that are coming in by and large, have been able to sample and try all these products as their job requirements, right? So they really have a good idea, but I wouldn't just rely solely on what their experience, because it's going to be different for all of us. So just can't emphasize that part enough, is that really it's about ourselves, our bodies, our composition, and just finding that product that works best for you and what you're going in for, and explaining like, hey, I'm here for, like, I suffer from anxiety and depression. What are some recommendations on products that I could use? And ones that fit you and your home. And like you had mentioned, a great point was, like, where I live, you can't smoke on property. But it's like, so then I rely heavily on my edibles and non-combustibles.
Right.
So.
You know what product, John, I just wanted, I know we're going to be wrapping up in a little bit, but I'd love for you to just touch upon when the three of us went out a couple months back, you had your little dropper that you were using. Can you just talk about that? Because I think there's lots of folks out there would really, love to hear about that, because that's another just discreet way of being able to dose yourself. Absolutely.
So what you're referring to is Squeeze. Mm-hmm. So the namesake is based off the bottle. I don't have an example with me, but the way it works is a little capsule. It looks no different than a Mio that you use to flavor your water.
Yes, it's like a Crystal Light dropper for those of you out there that are used to that, or you get them in that little beverage aisle where you can flavor your, different waters or drinks out there.
Yep. And it's water soluble THC. So it's here in Massachusetts, it's 100 mg. So you get 20 doses per bottle at a fantastic price point. And the name is Squeeze because you squeeze the capsule. There's a reservoir that's going to measure. So as soon as it fills up, you release the container, and then in the reservoir is 5 mgs of THC. Then you can pour it into your favorite beverage. For me, we have 4 different flavors. There's Hint of Sweet, which is my all-time fave. And I don't drink alcohol. And the main reason is because of Squeeze. It helped me transition from an alcohol standpoint to something that I could still use and dose myself. But the difference is whenever I go out to a bar, my buddy's tabs are a couple hundred and mine is for one iced tea.
Definitely bring a smile to my face.
Yeah. And it's just a fantastic product. It gives you a nice head high. From my experience, very similar to like a Delta 9 smoker's high. Very euphoric, puts me in a fantastic mood, and helps me feel that sort of like what Rich was referring to with CANN. It gives me that ability to have that social interaction, even in a bar setting, without having to consume alcohol.
Perfect. So, and you have a great blog post about why it kicks in so fast. So, so I dropped that into the chat as well.
Yeah, so Squeeze is my favorite product, hands down.
I wanted to definitely mention that one because that's a great one. And I think that there's so many folks out there that could really benefit from that.
Yeah. And we're getting ready. So the flavor profiles, we have Hint of Sweet, there's strawberry lemonade, there's lemon lime, and then we have one that's getting ready to drop, which is peach tea. Ooh. So be on the lookout. Super excited for that one.
That's a good one.
Sounds like Snapple in a bottle.
Oh, and then there's watermelon is the final flavor. I missed that one.
Another good one.
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, my friends, thank you so much for your time and your all that you're sharing. For my friends that are checking out the replay, I did drop all of the links to all the products that we talked about, as well as Rich and John's websites that they work with. So definitely check those out. Gosh, do you guys have fun plans for the holidays? Like I feel like we're like kind of that taper off into that maybe quieter week? What do you think?
Well, John and I just got back from a trip to London and Paris, so that was our holiday. Yeah, that was our Christmas present to each other. But we were going to be staying local and enjoying maybe some snow. I'm sure we'll binge watch a ton of movies. But yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it, and we definitely want to wish everyone a happy holidays.
Wow. So tell me about your favorite places in France and London. Did you do anything extraordinary? I mean, it is extraordinary in general, just traveling over there. But
I mean, I think that one of the greatest things that we and I'll speak for myself, but one of the greatest things that I took back was to try to just continue to live a simpler life. And in Europe, it's just a different lifestyle there. Definitely living life. So definitely taking that back and trying to, make sure you have some me time and making sure that you stop and truly just enjoy the view.
Yeah.
Great advice. Love that. I actually was in Italy in the spring. My daughter had a semester abroad and I could totally live there. It's just a very I was like, oh, the stress has left me from the States. I'm just afternoon wine, sure, no problem. Just very different. You're absolutely right. So, John, what was your favorite?
I love the rich, long history and culture, and being able to see buildings and bridges that are so rich in our history,
right?
And being able to experience that, see it, it's unlike anything else. And then just coming home with a newfound respect for just languages, and realizing, I thought I was pretty decent in French, and then I was like, okay, maybe not. So, and just having a whole new found respect for folks who are multilingual or, may not speak, the language, but it's very challenging. So I think that was a newfound respect just for the love of language and learning and just the history component. It was beautiful.
Very nice. Did you go to the top of the Eiffel Tower?
We did not. No.
I didn't either when I was there. I'm afraid of heights, so I went and looked up.
Okay, I saw it from the river.
From afar.
From afar.
That was good enough for me, but hopefully next time.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like a great Christmas present. My friends, so we will Emily and I will look forward to seeing you in 2023. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays to all of our friends. And thanks so much for being a valued part of our Medwell community and watching our segments. This one, I think, we think they're all great personally, but this last series, we've had some really, really great guests from around the country. And I highly recommend, if you are looking to binge watch something really educational and fun about the cannabis community, take a look at all of our Medwell Unscripteds. We are on YouTube. You can find them super easy. And the best news is when you play one, then the next one plays. So I encourage you to do that. My friends, thank you so much for your time. Emily, thank you. You've done a great job bringing in these wonderful people. And I will look forward to seeing everybody in 2023. Have a great day, friends.
John and Richie.
Have a great one.
Thank you.